Hi there and welcome to this next episode of Reality Poke with me, Knott. And here in Reality Poke, I co-host this podcast with the Spirit Collective that I voice channel for, The Crew. And so today I want to talk to you about this energy of re-looking back at what we've already done. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is over these last few months, I and a lot of the people that I work with have been feeling this energy of just be ready. Just take this time to be ready. Just prepare yourself because it's arriving. This wave that you've been waiting for is about to appear. And I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to feel the momentum of this kicking in now. And so the calling that I've been receiving and the guidance that I've been receiving is to actually look back on things that I've already received over the years. And to look back at them with fresh eyes of the me that I am now. And to see what I've already created that we can bring immediately into the world. Now, quite often I've used to look back at the old stuff that I've done, and I've thought, no, it doesn't feel like me anymore. But in between those pieces that were obviously of the me that I was then, are some gems, are some pieces of information that I received, that I downloaded, that I was inspired to create or part create or bring together and put some edges around that I wasn't ready for yet. And this is what I'm being guided to talk to you about today, is the pieces that we received and that then we've had to grow into to be the version of ourselves that we've needed to be to bring those forward now. It's almost like as the visionaries and the creatives and the teachers and the coaches, we've all received this back catalogue of information, this back catalogue of teaching that we just didn't know how to put together. That we just didn't know what we were supposed to do with at that time, that felt kind of out of place, that didn't really fit into what we were doing at the time, and maybe we've put it to one side because we've thought, oh no, my people aren't going to get that. But now's the time to dust those off. Now's the time to really truly recognize how magically we have been guided to be ready to be the people that we are now, the teachers, the coaches, the guides, the visionaries, the creatives, that we have been guided to be ready to catch this wave right now as it's appearing with these pieces of information that we've already received. And we weren't ready to present them then. But what's happened is, as we downloaded them, our energy has been working through to create the versions of us that we need to be now to bring that information forward. And I guarantee if you go back and look at it now, it won't feel as out of place as it did then. In fact, you might even look at it and feel like this feels a little bit out of date because you've already evolved beyond it. But these are the grains of the teaching that brought you to here, the sparks of the evolution that's brought you to here. And one of the things that the crew regularly says through me is that we are creating the answers to the questions that the rest of humanity hasn't yet even thought of. So we've been given these answers that we weren't even ready to think of the questions that go with the answers that we've already been given. But now we've got them. And what our job now is to put the pieces together so that the rest of the wave of humanity is now coming into the space where they're going to have the questions, and what do you know, we've already got the answers that they need. So this is the message of right now, is we've already got the answers. Now we're just waiting on the rest of humanity to bring the questions for the answers that we've already received. So now's the time for us all to go back and to look at these pieces, these grains, these seeds that were placed within us, to be ready for the right now, this wave that's building. And I'm sure that you can feel it. And we don't need to know what form it's going to take, but we just need to be ready for that and know that energetically we're already able to stand on our surfboards and just be waiting for this wave to arrive. So I'm going to hand this over to the crew now, because it's their guidance that has nudged me to talk about this today. And we'll see what they've got to say. So many of you who are walking this path here as human, knowing that you are bringing through an essence into this world, are aware of an energy building around you now, which is bringing forward a new version of reality. You do not need to understand what this energy will be. You have been working through your own understandings of reality themselves, and you have been made aware so keenly that there is no need to understand far beyond where you are now, because that which is coming requires of you to open up into a space of the unknown. Any of you who have been trying to create into a structured space of what already is will no doubt have been feeling very frustrated over these last months and years. The energy frequency has been a requiring of that which is coming is outside of that which already is. And so if you have been digging into a place of solidity, the internal navigation point of view will have a deep knowing within it that you are indeed digging in the wrong place. But many, through the structures and the beliefs of the now, have been led into a creative aspect which is stifling to so many of you. And we know that you understand what we mean, because the outside of this is what is calling to you now. The beyond what already is what is bringing itself through you into this world. And as it has been correctly described, you have been seeded, if you like, with information to allow you to expand and evolve into the version of you which feels more settled in guiding from this space of the unyet made. There are many coaches here. There are many guides here. There are many teachers here who are still creating and guiding within the structures of what already is. But we speak to you now, if you are one of those who are finding yourself breathing out into a space that is far beyond all of that. Perhaps that which you are being called to bring seems so far beyond the reality of now that you have been arguing with yourself as to whether or not you should indeed even contemplate trying to bring it together. And we say to you now that this is the time to go back and look at these projects again. You have received the inspiration over months and years, perhaps many years, where you have received the inspiration for these ideas that have not fit yet the world in which you have been living. But the world in which you are living is shifting exponentially in speed now. And you have been expanded into an evolution of you which is already exponentially ready for this next stage. And so now is the time to look at these projects again, to look at these ideas again, to look at these pieces that seem to make no sense at the time, and to bring them together now, and to look at them now with fresh eyes, to see how, yes, you did not feel ready when you received that. Yes, the world did not seem ready when you received that. But then ask yourself now, are you ready to now deliver that? Is this world ready now to hear that? And we wish for you to be honest with that truth. The world is catching up. A wave is building. A crescendo, if you will, of evolution is about to hit. The changes which this world is currently undertaking seem heavy and slow. But coming is a speed, is an awareness, is a lightness, is an undoing and an unweaving of the solidity of reality that has not been seen for millennia. And you are here to ride this wave. You have been preparing yourself as one who is here to hold space for that, and to be here as the guides and the visionaries and the creatives and the bringing forward of information that will be needed by those coming along on this wave. There will be many that are bewildered in the months and years to come, and you are already seeing it. That which has been loosening from this world is creating much turmoil. And you are able, as the light of you, to create in collaboration with the millions of others of you who are also here to do this same work. You are able to create a safe space to provide the answers that have not yet the questions. But you are already there. And in that space of unknowing that you have been feeling more and more comfortable in, you are now able to navigate where others will be unable to do so. And we ask of you now, therefore, to go back, to look at the answers that you have already received, to listen to the parts of you that were not ready but now are, and to bring forward and let go of all restriction that was holding you back from allowing that new work, those new words, that new vision, that new light, that new energy, that newness of you fully into this world. That is the wave that is here now that you are feeling so keenly. You have been shedding layer and layer and layer and layer of deeply embedded and embodied beliefs that are no longer serving you or humanity itself. You have been clearing the way for your own essence and your own light and your own soul to be made real here more and more and more. And the rest of humanity is feeling this same unsettledness. But you have been facing into it. You have been choosing to understand it, to understand yourself, to be aware of it. And in doing so, you have allowed more of the moreness of you to find its way to you. And in the continual cry of show me more, help me to understand, help me see, help me clear, help me allow, you have been creating and allowing and bringing forward and shining more brightly the true light of you. And that has been done and is being done and is encouraged within millions upon millions upon millions on this planet now, in differing levels, in different intensities, all to create a new wave of being. And so return to that which you have already received. Return to the seeds of the ideas. Return to the ideas and the answers that came without the questions. That now you understand that you are here to be the voice of, the creator of, the visionary for. That is what your next steps can be. You have been asked to wait and ready. You have struggled, many of you, with the unfolding and the undoing and the releasing and the letting go. But we and all who are outside of this celebrate you, because you are bringing forward more than you can possibly imagine. This is your time. This is what you were born into this world to be and do and share and create. This is the magic of you and the light of you. Bring it forward now. So this is me back as Kat again, and wow, wasn't that interesting? So here we are, people, here we are, visionaries, here we are, guides. This is our time, so let's get cracking. And if you would like to find out more about the work that I do with the crew, if you would like to be mentored by the crew or to have a one-to-one session by the crew, all of the information that you need for these coming weeks, coming months, coming time, where we are all going to be stepping into this greater version of ourselves. You can find all about that on my website at uninvented.life. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Reality Poke. And I'd love to hear what this episode has brought up for you. I'd love to hear if this has sparked or inspired you to get back into looking at some things, or it's made you think, oh yes, I remember that now. I'd love to hear that. So pop onto my website, uninvented.life, and click contact me and send me a message. And if you're not on my mailing list already, you can find that there too, and get some inspiration from the crew straight into your inbox every single week. Huge love from me and from the crew, and we'll see you in the next episode of Reality Poke. Bye for now. Thank you.